Hello, welcome to the video on IxVM. I am Stephen Duffy, Senior Systems Engineer. Today we will be discussing how to deploy IxVM into vCenter. The steps that we will be taking is first downloading an IxVM OVA, import it into vCenter. Next is to modify VM settings, followed by setting IP, DNS, and host name, followed by adding license. To expedite this video, I expect that you have already downloaded the OVA. So what we're going to do now is bring up vCenter, log in, choose the data center you want to use, right-click, deploy OVF template, choose your location of your OVA. Now this is just going to be one single file, so it's going to make it very easy. Click Next, give it a name, verify the location, verify what host it's going to be on, some of the higher level details, agree to the license agreement, select if you want to do thin or thick provisioning as well as the data store you want to use. Now, for the management network, this is how are you going to be accessing the IxVM client itself, as there is a web GUI on it for management. By default, we give you 2 ports for testing, but after deployment, you can actually add additional ports. Now we're going to deploy by clicking Finish. This will take a few minutes. We're going to configure some of the settings. So go into Edit Settings. By default, the minimum should be 2 CPUs and 4 gigs of RAM. Recommended, I would say at least 4 CPUs and 8 gigs of RAM. Then as we look at the network adapters, the first one's management, and then you can see additional ones. The nice part is you can pick and choose whichever network configurations you already have in place. Or if you need to add a new one in. Now we do support SR-IOV pass-through as well. For today's discussion, I'm going to just keep it at a VMX 3. Okay, and now we're going to start up the VM. Now as it's starting up, I like to view the console, so I'm going to just use the web console to make it quick and easy. Now we're going to do 3 different commands here. We're going to set the IP address, set DNS and the host name, and also set the NTP settings in case it's on the wrong time. Log in with admin. We are first going to focus on the NTP settings. To see what the current status is, do a show NTP servers, and you'll notice that only the local host is on there. So to add one, just do an add NTP server and the address. You want to add it? Yes. Now, once we reboot, that will come into effect. But before we reboot, we're going to modify the DNS and host name. So first, for the host name, you just do a set host name and then the name. As you see, it will ask reboot when you do the host name. Now, as it comes back up, we're just going to log back in. Now we're going to set the DNS. So it's just going to be add DNS server. And as you see here, that DNS server is already in there. And to verify which ones are currently there, add in a IP address. So set IP Ethernet 0, because that is the management interface. IP address, mask, and then gateway. And now it needs to be rebooted, so you're going to use the reboot machine command. Yes. So now we're going to go into the web GUI. Going to log in with admin. Click on chassis. And as you see here, we have the one management that we're connected to and 5 different test ports. Now finally, the only other thing you need to do is just to add a license. So click on that little house, click on the blue cogwheel, Administration, System, go into License Manager, click Activate License, and input the activation code that you received from Keysight Support. At this point, you are ready to test. Thank you for listening.